Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. So today we're going to tackle something pretty interesting.
Right.
It's all about failure.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
Specifically, how different cultures, view failure and whether it's like this thing we should avoid or if it's actually like a key to success.
Yeah. Yeah.
To help us unpack all this, we've got excerpts from a couple sources, culture and finger pointing and fail fast concepts.
Interesting.
Yeah. So have you ever stopped to think about how your own culture, shapes how you see failure?
It's funny you should ask that. It is a great question. And culture and finger pointing, it really does highlight these contrasting viewpoints. For instance, in Southern European countries, failure can be a big taboo.
Really?
Almost like a stain on you,
Wow.
But then you look at, places like the US, England, Sweden, and they see it as like a stepping stone to success, a chance to learn and grow.
That is so different.
Yeah.
It's wild. And you know what's even crazier? They even have a whole museum.
A museum.
Yeah, it's in Sweden. The Museum of Commercial Disasters.
Oh, wow.
I know. Just imagine a place dedicated to epic fails.
Hmm.
It really makes you think, why is there such a huge difference in how we see this whole concept of failure?
Right. Well, I think it's about, our attitudes, they're often shaped by, how we grew up, education systems, even those big societal values.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In cultures that push perfection and then punish you for mistakes, it's no surprise people are scared of failing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then that fear kind of gets carried over into the workplace, stifles creativity, innovation, all that.
So that's one side of the coin.
Right.
But then there's the Silicon Valley approach.
Right.
It's like their motto is fail fast, almost like a religion.
Exactly. It's like a badge of honor, having those failures under your belt in that world. And fail fast concepts, it actually dives deep into this whole methodology. It's all about rapid prototyping, constantly testing, and iterating, changing based on feedback. It's kind of like imagine a kid learning to walk.
Okay, yeah.
They stumble and fall, they get back up, try again.
Right.
That's fail fast in a nutshell.
I love that. It's such a good analogy. It's like instead of being frozen by that fear of messing up, you're actually encouraged to dive in, learn from the stumbles, and keep iterating.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's no better example of this than Elon Musk.
Oh, for sure.
Right. SpaceX, Tesla, the Boring Company, all built on this idea of embracing failure as a learning moment.
Definitely.
Remember those first SpaceX launches, the rockets? Well, they didn't exactly stick the landing.
I remember. Pretty spectacular, those explosions.
Yeah. I was watching those live thinking, that's it. SpaceX is done. But then they would analyze all the data from those failures.
Yeah.
And they'd refine their designs and come back even stronger.
I mean, that's the key here. Musk and his teams didn't see those explosions as, the end. It was valuable data. Each failure got them closer to their goal. It's a big mindset shift, one we could all learn from. And it's not just, rockets and cars, this fail fast. It can apply to anything.
Oh, yeah.
Learning a new language or picking up a new skill. You're going to fumble at first. You have the setbacks. They're all part of it.
It's about using those stumbles to grow.
Right.
But fail fast concepts also mention some really good benefits, not just for personal stuff.
Yeah.
We're talking faster innovation, lower costs, happier customers.
It's a long list.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
They're all connected though, right?
Yeah, they are.
Take reduced costs.
Okay.
If you're prototyping and testing fast,
Yeah.
you find the problems before you've put in tons of time and money.
It's like correcting a ship before it goes too far off course.
Totally. Saves a lot of headaches later on.
For sure.
But how do you make people okay with failing?
That's a good question.
Is that where that fearless organization thing comes in?
Yeah, exactly. Amy Edmondson, she's quoted in Culture and Finger Pointing. She talks about psychological safety.
Okay.
It's about making a workplace where, people can take risks, admit mistakes,
Right.
and speak up without being punished.
It's
Imagine a team where everyone can just, share ideas, learn from each other's mess-ups.
That sounds amazing.
Right.
So different from those places where everyone's terrified to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But how do you actually build that trust? It can't just happen overnight.
No, it takes a conscious effort,
Yeah.
especially from the leaders.
Yeah.
It starts with them doing it themselves.
Showing how it's done.
Being open about their own failures,
Yeah.
sharing what they learned, encouraging others to do the same.
So it's not just saying it's okay to fail.
No.
You have to, like, build a system around it.
Exactly. Like maybe setting aside time for trying new things.
Okay.
Doing postmortems on failures to, figure out the lesson. Even rewarding people for what they learn.
Not just whether it worked or not.
Exactly.
Like Mina Sapelian from St. Cobain.
Right.
In Culture and Finger Pointing,
Right.
he talks about learning not just success or failure.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but it's a big shift.
It is. It really is.
By focusing on the learning, it takes away that sting from failing.
Exactly.
It's not about you being bad.
Right.
It's about gathering info,
Yeah.
adapting, improving.
Exactly.
So failing is not a roadblock. It's like a detour.
I like that.
Right. Are there any, like, real companies doing this fail fast thing well?
Oh, yeah. Tons.
Like who?
Google and Amazon are famous for it.
Huh.
They want their people to take risks, try new things,
Okay.
learn from it all, win or lose.
So it's not just the big tech companies.
Nope. Smaller startups, too. Even some of the older companies are starting to see the value.
That's good to hear. Sounds like people are realizing that, failing can actually lead to being more innovative
Yeah.
and successful in the long run.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Changing how a big company thinks, that's a huge job.
It is, but it can be done.
Okay.
It needs commitment from the top,
Hmm.
a willingness to change how things have always been done,
Right.
and that focus on building that psychological safety we talked about.
You got to change the mindset
You do.
from fearing failure to seeing it as part of growing.
Exactly.
But what about those of us who are still, like, scared to fail?
It's normal to feel that way.
It's easy to say embrace it, but it's harder to actually do.
I think the first step is admitting that fear is normal.
Okay.
It's human. It's part of how we survive.
Right.
But when fear is in control, it stops us from doing anything new, taking risks.
It's like we're stuck.
Yeah.
So how do we break free?
We can try to change how we think about failing.
Like, instead of it being bad?
Yeah, see it as a chance to learn.
It's like that Edison quote. I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
Exactly. Focus on the trying and learning, not just the result.
So failing is not the end. It's like a step along the way.
Exactly.
It's like taking that negative energy and making it positive.
I like that.
Instead of fear holding you back, it pushes you forward.
And it all comes back to that psychological safety.
Right.
When we feel safe to experiment, to learn from mistakes, we do more, we innovate more.
So it's not just about being tough on your own.
No.
It's about everyone supporting each other.
Yeah, like a community of learning where failing is something you do together.
I love that. So failing actually brings people closer.
It can.
Wow. This has been so insightful. We've covered so
Yeah.
from different cultures to why failing can be good,
Mm-hmm.
even how to build those fearless organizations.
I think our listener is getting a lot out of this.
Yiku.
For our listener, I want to say this one more time. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's how you get there. Yeah.
Embrace what you learn from your mistakes. Adapt. Keep going.
The road to success is paved with failures.
It really is.
It's about getting back up and learning that matters. And that reminds me of this quote from John F. Kennedy. The biggest mistake people can make is to be afraid to make one. It's so true, right?
It is. It's that fear that stops us from doing anything new.
It really does.
All that creativity and progress we miss out on.
Yeah, like we're trapped.
It's like a cage we build for ourselves.
What if we could break free, though? Imagine what we could do if we all, embraced failing as part of the process.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Not just at work, but in, everything.
Right.
Imagine, going for your passions, taking on those big challenges, knowing that even if you trip up, you'll learn something.
It's like giving yourself permission to be bold, to experiment, to get out of your comfort zone without worrying what people think.
Exactly.
Who knows what we could discover if we weren't so scared?
Think about those pioneers, the inventors, artists who pushed the limits.
Yeah. They weren't afraid to fail, and their failures led to some amazing breakthroughs.
You're right. It's not the end of the story.
Nope.
It's often the start of something even better.
For sure.
So for our listener out there, we have a little challenge for you.
A challenge?
Think of something you've always wanted to do, but were too afraid to.
Okay. Yeah.
It could be starting a business, writing a book, learning something new, anything you've been putting off.
I love it. Time to dust off those dreams.
And take that first step, even if it means you might fail.
Because remember, you're not alone in this.
We all mess up sometimes.
You.
What makes you successful is getting back up, learning, and keeping going.
Well said. It's been great talking about all this with you.
Same here. I hope this deep dive has helped our listeners see failure in a new light.
Me too. So next time you hit a setback, don't give up.
Right.
Take the lessons, adapt, keep moving.
You never know what you might achieve when you let go of that fear and embrace the learning process.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep failing forward.